12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And we begin with a border visit. The Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security in the Rio Grande Valley today. His visit comes just days away from the expiration of Title 42.
Our Jonathan Goto is joining us live from the U.S.-Mexico border in the Rio Grande Valley. And Jonathan, do we know at this point what impact this is going to have on the local community?
Stefania, we do. In fact, they say it's going to be a huge impact. We had an opportunity to speak with local nonprofit organizations who historically provide care and respite to migrants seeking asylum. They're telling us with the end of Title 42, they're already seeing the number of migrants seeking asylum go up. The pandemic-era rule that allowed immigration authorities to turn away migrants seeking asylum in an effort of mitigating the spread of COVID-19 comes to an end on May 11th. Nonprofit organizations like the Catholic Charities in the Rio Grande Valley anticipating an increase in asylum seekers.
People are already starting to cross in great numbers, and so Border Patrol is releasing a higher number of people to us than usual.
Sister Norma says they typically receive up to 150 migrants daily.
Now we're very close to 450 a day, So numbers are going up already, and it's not even May 11,
The mayor of McAllen and other leaders say they're expecting the flow of migrants to reach as many as 10,000 a day immediately following the end of Title 42.
We know there's about 10,000 people around Matamoros, more than 10,000 in Reynosa, and then there's different shifts either by our government or Mexico in how they shift the immigrants. So we're getting as prepared as we can.
This migrant's journey started in Venezuela. Today, he says the end of Title 42 is the precise moment to cross into the U.S. with more assurance. He says, God willing, they will be all allowed to cross because they are all hardworking people and are here to work hard for the U.S. But others have a different take on the end of Title 42. This man says he doesn't think the expiration of Title 42 will change the situation for them. On the contrary, he says it'll probably make things worse, adding they're already seeing more and more deportations. Sister Norma says now Title 8 will more than likely play out.
Title 8 seems to be what was there, which is everybody will be processed, and if they don't have a fear for their lives that they show, they cannot enter into a process of asylum, they will be deported back to their country. And I think that's possibly what's going to happen to them.
Now, Sister Norma Pimentel says the respite center is prepared. She also tells us that Secretary Mayorkas had an opportunity to tour the facility this morning. She says one of the things she shared with him is that the government needs to make clear the legal processes that are available here for those migrants seeking asylum as to avoid misleading them, thinking they can arrive at the U.S. border, enter into the U.S. and remain here. Now, we're going to be following Secretary Mayorkas' tour here to the Rio Grande Valley and bring you the latest right here on KSAT 12 News. Reporting live from the U.S.-Mexico border in the Rio Grande Valley, Jonathan Goto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. A San Antonio mother searching for answers from SAISD after her 8-year-old son was given the wrong medication at school. Candace Smith's son is a second grader at Cameron Elementary. He's diagnosed with ADHD and bipolar disorder. She said she received a call on March 31st from a school nurse saying her son had been given the wrong medication. So she then went to the school with the month of April's medications, claims her son's pill bottles from the months of February and March were nearly full. Smith believes her son was given the wrong medication for weeks and said she still hasn't received any communications from SAISD about what drug he may have actually taken.
We had this meeting and they could not tell me what they gave my son. Based off of the logs, they still have no idea to this day. My son could have been dead. He could have died because of this, in the hands of a registered nurse.
SAISD released a statement confirming there was one instance where a child received the wrong medication. The district also confirmed that a registered nurse and an assistant are no longer at the campus.
In other news now, a convicted murderer back behind bars after just being released a year ago, but this time it's for something different. 50-year-old Jacob Valadez is facing an invasive visual recording charge. According to police, Valadez left his phone in a friend's car, and when the friend picked it up, she says it had photos and videos of an underage girl changing. Police got a search warrant, confirmed the victim didn't know that she was being recorded. Bexar County court records show Valadez served a 30-year prison sentence for murder back in 1992, and he had been released last March. A homeowner lost a lot more than just her home when it caught fire last night.
She and the community lost a refuge, a place that for the last 10 years, people with mental illnesses used to be independent. Well, now that home needs to be fixed. Our Camelia Juarez tells us how long it will be before people can return.
But this is my house.
Homeowner Bessie Rogers inherited this house on East Crockett from her father.
I had tears in my eyes. I was just totally broken.
San Antonio Fire says that the fire started with a mattress here in the room and then it quickly spread throughout. It's going to take about 6 months to repair the damage. She was sad to hear that the house was severely destroyed Wednesday night because for 15 years it has provided stability for people suffering from mental illness. The rent was affordable and allowed people to get back on their feet.
You know, some people that need housing, need help, need a leg up. Everybody can use a leg up.
When the fire broke out, 4 people were living there and they all made it out safely. Now they're staying with relatives.
Say everybody wants their independence.
For now, Rogers is working with her insurance to get the house back in shape so she can continue to give people the confidence to be on their own.
And in Jesus' name, it will be rebuilt and they're going to be back home being independent.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Right now, fire officials trying to figure out the cause of a fire at a Leon Valley apartment complex. That fire actually happened about 10:30 this morning on Forest Meadow Street near Evers Road. Firefighters are able to put out that blaze in about an hour. Officials say at least 4 units were destroyed, leaving those residents without a home. Still no word on what caused this fire.
A GPS tracker helped San Antonio police find a bus that was stolen from a school district on the southeast side. The bus was taken from the East Central ISD transportation hub overnight. SAPD then tracked the bus to a shopping center on Ingram Road. Officers looked through the bus for weapons or people inside, but they didn't find anything. Now, in a statement from the school district, it says in part, quote, ECISD would like to assure our community that we take this incident very seriously and are taking every step necessary to ensure that our transportation hub is secure. We understand the importance of our buses in transporting our students to and from school safely, end quote.
A 4-year-old murder case comes to a close today as the woman charged is sentenced. Mandy Lou Villegas has been convicted of murder. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as Villegas found out how much time she'll spend in prison.
On February 11th, 2019, 36-year-old Domingo Sanchez was found dead inside this home on El Dorado Street. He had been tied up and hit with a drill and also smothered with a pillow.
State text versus Mandy Villegas.
According to police, Villegas admitted to the murder, but her mental health has been an issue as the case moved through the court system.
We're asking the courts to take everything in consideration and assess a punishment that both meets the needs of justice for the alleged offense, but also takes into consideration just the mental health and the facts of Miss Villegas herself.
Villegas, since being arrested, according to online court records, had been found incompetent to stand trial in 2019 and was sent to a state hospital. When competency was restored, she was brought back to Bexar County. She has since gone through other psych evaluations that have found her competent to stand trial. But a trial was avoided, and Villegas instead pleaded no contest and taking a plea deal. 290th District Court Judge Jennifer Peña had the option of sentencing Villegas anywhere from 5 to 35 years in prison, the state wanting the max.
If you look at the stipulated evidence, mental health was not an issue at the time the crime was committed. I think with her statement to police, it was pretty clear that she knew what was going on.
With nothing to say to the judge after arguments were heard, Judge Peña handed down her sentence.
I am going to find you guilty. I'm going to assess 35 years in the Texas Department of Corrections.
Villegas will get credit for time served and is eligible for parole after serving half her sentence. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, now we're going to take a live look outside and show you, yes, that's I-10 right now where, you can see that there. Overcast. Mia Montgomery, meteorologist Mia Montgomery is joining us here live. So, okay, 6:08 right now. We had a little bit of a tease yesterday, right? It was overcast yesterday, but today it's overcast and we're getting a storm.
We are monitoring,
Maybe.
yes, the potential The potential for some scattered thunderstorms as we head into this evening and especially later on tonight. We've got a disturbance that's going to be pushing across the Lone Star State. And when you combine that with the humidity in place, yes, we already have seen a couple of isolated cells develop. About an hour ago, we actually had a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for southern Valverde County. That was quickly canceled, though, as the storm fizzled over the 277 corridor. Right now, no active warnings in place for our area. We've got a little cell there near Comstock. And then we've seen a thunderstorm weaken as it pushes into southern Valverde County. However, as we zoom this out, you can see, yes, some more development is already occurring across the mountains of Mexico. That generally will be tracking eastward. So while not everybody's going to see a storm this evening, the ones that do find a storm could sit on the strong to severe side. So we'll get you a full look at that future cast and another check at the radar coming up in just a few, guys.
Thank you, Mia. All right, let's check out I-35 at New Braunfels where there's something going on. It looks like a couple of police cruisers are there, along with what looks to be a stalled vehicle off the side of the road. That's all it looks to be right now. Again, this is I-35 at New Braunfels, causing a slowdown there, but it doesn't look like it's anything severe.
Now from a convent to a dorm for young women seeking a more stable life. The San Antonio City Council today approving a $2.3 million package for the YWCA San Antonio's Women's Live and Learn Center.
The group's CEO gave Garrett Berger a tour of the building that she hopes could house 30 young women and their children by as early as the end of this year.
We're going to have a downstairs common kitchen, common living area.
By the end of March, or possibly even this December, Francesca Rattray hopes to have the main building of the former St. Andrew's Convent open for the Women's Live and Learn Center.
And this currently has 24 residential units, but we are expanding to 30.
The center would provide 2 years of free housing and another 2 years based on a sliding scale. The YWCA hopes to help women who aren't making much money, perhaps aging out of foster care, fleeing domestic violence, or young single moms without a supportive home. But they are focused on women between 18 and 25, though it's not a hard cutoff.
If we get young women early enough, we'll be able to break the cycle of poverty for them and prevent chronic homelessness.
The women will have to commit to a workforce training or degree program. But even if they finish early, the YWCA says they'll be able to stay the full 4 years.
There's enough room for some of the women to bring up to 2 children under 8 with them. And the YWCA has plans to build an on-site child care center, though that will take longer.
It's almost impossible to be able to not work and focus on job training or going back to school without having to worry about paying the rent or paying for childcare.
The YWCA hopes to start work inside the main building mid-June or July and building the child care center in August. While Rattray says the YWCA doesn't have all the funding secured for either building, it does have enough to get started. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
And we certainly hope they're able to help lots of women. Now, still ahead on the news at 6, there's more to the science of aging, how scientists are now getting a better picture as to how your body responds to getting older.
Here's a look at what we're working on for you on the Night Beat. A fast food fish restaurant netted several violations during a recent health inspection, from bugs to a ceiling held together by duct tape. Tim Gerber shows us what inspectors caught behind this fish food kitchen door. Tonight on the Night Beat at 10. All right, you've heard the saying, you're only as old as you feel.
Now, scientists who study aging say there may be something to that, and they also want to know how and why.
Ursula Perry with how you can become what they call a super ager.
Why are some people happy and spry as they add years to their lives while others struggle with sickness and disease? That is a question that has nagged researcher Aditi Gurkar for years. Her grandparents lived with them growing up. She calls her grandfather a superhero.
He could walk up 3 flights of stairs. He's in his 80s, washed his own clothes, picked me up from school.
Her grandmother was the same age, yet she struggled.
Since she was in her 60s, she was constantly getting one disease or the other.
These days, this cell biologist is looking to answer the question of why some people are super agers, seemingly avoiding disease and disability, while others are early agers.
As we age, we kind of have these funky looking cells in us called zombie cells.
These zombie or senescent cells release inflammation into surrounding tissue. Inflammation is thought to increase the risk of diseases like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. While researchers work to find ways to rid our bodies of zombie cells, Professor Gerger says prevention is key. She says a little exercise goes a long way. Keep a positive attitude. Your mind will tell your body what to do, and eat a healthy diet. And in this month of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, it cannot be stressed enough that staying active and involved in life in your 60s and 70s will do you well. Research does show chances are if you do that, you will live well into your 80s and 90s. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Zombie cells. Okay.
Yeah.
Learned something.
Should be a story we do more around Halloween, maybe. Zombie cells. All right.
You would.
Hey, I would, yeah. All right, let's talk about the weather outside. We think we're going to get rain, but the question is, where will it occur, Mia?
Right. So kind of the big picture that we're looking at here this evening. We've got the humidity in place. It was warm out there this afternoon. Combine that with some energy pushing across the state of Texas from a disturbance approaching the Lone Star State. That is going to allow for some scattered activity, some downpours and some thunderstorms to develop here, especially over the next few hours. Now, most of our area is in a 2 out of 5 risk issued from the Storm Prediction Center to find some strong to severe thunderstorms. As we mentioned earlier, not everybody is going to see a thunderstorm here this evening and tonight, but for those that do, that activity could be, yes, strong to severe with instances of large hail and strong damaging wind gusts, the biggest concerns to monitor. Here's the big picture. We've got an area of low pressure set up over the western portions of the lower 48. With where we are positioned in relation to that low pressure system are winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere out of the southwest. And what we see with this pattern oftentimes is a few ripples in the jet stream. That's that energy that moves into the area and could spark up that severe storm chance. So this is what we're looking at right now here this 6 p.m. hour. Most of us are quiet. We don't have any warnings in place for our region, but we are monitoring this little weakening thunderstorm that's approaching the Brackettville area out there in Kinney County. That's going to be crossing over Highway 90 here within the next 20 to 30 minutes. And then this little thunderstorm that continues to weaken farther off to the west in Valverde County, that is now pushed over the Comstock area and is moving farther up to the northeast. Again, no active warnings in place right now, but we do have some additional thunderstorm development that we are finding this hour across the mountains of Mexico. And the overall theme here is that whatever we do find develop out west, that is going to be tracking eastward this evening and later on tonight. So here's a look at our future cast depicting what the radar could look like over the next several hours. It's not going to be perfect in terms of exact locations with this thunderstorm development, but you can see the overall trend is that yes, by about 8, 9, 10, even 11 p.m. tonight, whatever activity we do find out west is going to be tracking eastward. Some of it will likely be strong to severe at some point, and then as it moves into our far eastern counties after midnight, that looks to weaken depending on how well it holds together and with whatever is left of that activity. So continue to keep your KSAT Weather Authority app handy over the next several hours. We, of course, will continue to monitor it. Temperature-wise, 84 degrees right now, dew point near 70. So yes, it is very humid and sticky whenever you do step outdoors. That humidity is not going anywhere over the next several days. So it is going to be a muggy start to your Friday, upper 60s, low 70s, some areas of patchy fog likely, as well as some low level cloud cover. And then much like today as we head into the afternoon, a few peaks of sunshine. Temperatures though are going to be warmer, upper 80s and low 90s, and a 20% chance for a couple of isolated storms. By the way, those daily isolated storm chances continue, not just this weekend, but into next week as well. So severe weather will still be possible in some capacity over the next few days, just very isolated on that isolated basis. And you can see your temperatures much warmer than average, daytime highs near 90. And when you factor in the moisture, it will likely feel like the mid to upper 90s at times. So definitely needing to stay hydrated.
And I'm good with all that as long as we get the rain.
Yeah.
The regular rains.
Right. No severe weather, but yes, we would love the rain.
Rains with regularity.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank
Mia.
you. Hi, Larry.
Hello.
All right, so Micah Parsons, there you go. Now we see you. So Micah Parsons, all right, so people have been concerned because he's been putting on the LBs, and he's saying, wait, there's a reason for this, don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely, there's a reason, do not worry. He's not going to lose any speed. He's putting on some extra weight because he says he's going to play defensive end a lot more this season. So how does that help him playing more DE? Plus, Coach Alford is very proud of one of his former pitchers, Bryce Miller, coming up.
Yeah, we were pretty loud every time we struck somebody out, which was 10 times. It was unbelievable. So what a start.
New Braunfels High School baseball coach Bobby Alford had a great time watching former Unicorns ace Bryce Miller tear it up in his big league debut in Big Board Sports.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Lion is gaining weight, and that's because of Micah Parsons will see more time at defensive end this season. He says he's putting on muscle and will not surpass 255 pounds. Now, fans are afraid he will lose his speed that has delivered 26.5 sacks in his 2 seasons, and Parsons is basically saying that won't happen. He needs the extra muscle to handle his big offensive linemen and the beating he takes from double and triple teams during the 17-game regular season. How does playing more time at DE help Parsons?
It just allows me to study. Instead of studying everything, I could just study that one guy that I just need to beat on Sunday, studying how to win faster, studying instead of like before I'm focused on the line, I'm focused on running backs, I'm focused on receivers, I'm focused on concepts. Now I can just focus on running, stopping the run, and beating the man in front of me.
Last season, in the final 8 regular season games, Parsons lined up at linebacker just 19 times per ESPN. With their second-round draft pick, the Houston Texans selected center Juice Scruggs out of Penn State. His full name is Frederick Henry Scruggs, but he goes by Juice. Now, he earned his nickname as a baby when his father said he only wanted to drink juice. Scruggs is 23 years old, 6'3", 310 pounds. So what exactly is he bringing to the Texans?
I'm just a guy that's going to come in and it's going to work his butt off. I'm going to give everything I got. And I'm a guy that can play center, but I can also play both guard positions. And I'm just coming in, giving the organization the versatility and inside offensive line. So that's what I plan on bringing, and that's what I plan on doing for sure.
Juice and the rest of the draftees will take part in the Texans rookie minicamp May 12th and 13th. In the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks dismissed head coach Mike Budenholzer today, as reported by Woj. The number 1 seed Bucks lost to number 8 Miami in the first round of the playoffs. Tuesday night, Bryce Miller made his major league debut, and all he did was retire the first 16 batters that he faced, carrying a perfect game into the 6th inning, but he settled for a 2-hit, 10K, no decision. The former New Braunfels star sent Unicorns baseball coach Bobby Alford a text Saturday night around 11 saying he's been called up to the show and that he will be starting on Tuesday against Oakland. Now, Coach talked with Miller's parents who invited him to go out, but Coach couldn't because he's getting ready for the first round of the high school playoffs. So Bobby's wife got the MLB app, and he watched Bryce's debut along with his wife and his 2 boys.
It was an unbelievable moment for all of us, and I know his family was so happy and so proud, and they're great people, and he's a great kid. He's a quiet kid, he's a laid back kid, but ultra competitive, and like I think somebody said it on TV, he's a Texan, and until it's time to go out there and get after it, he's just laid back, just likes to hunt and do all that. But it was really cool for us, for our program, and just seeing that happen.
Miller's next start is scheduled for Sunday when the Mariners host the Astros per ESPN, and we wish him the very best.
Absolutely. Laid back until it matters.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that,
Thank
too.
you, Larry.
We'll be right back after this.
Early voting is done. We are 2 days away from Election Day, and this time around, voters will pick new city leaders, bonds. Oh, yeah, Proposition A is out there, and whether they want to give Mayor Ron Nirenberg another term.
Yeah, joining us live to prepare us for all of this is Molly Cox, a policy consultant and former president and CEO of SA 2020. Molly, nice to have you with us.
Hello, I am excited to be here because I'm a complete nerd.
You and I
Well,
both.
good, because we want you to geek out with us today, because we're going to talk about, so we all know Election Day is Saturday, and whenever you don't have a presidential election or a governor's race or something like that, it really, your turnout really isn't as strong. So you have to look at exactly what's motivating voters this time around. For this election, what do you think that is?
It's Prop A. I think that's what motivated voters in 2021 was Prop B, when we were talking about collective bargaining at that time, right? More people voted for Prop B than they did for mayor in that election. And I think the same thing this time around. I think it shows that San Antonio voters are interested in talking about justice reform, criminal justice. That's what's motivating people to come out. It also doesn't hurt that $2 million is being spent on media blitzes, right? Like, it's what is pushing people, I think, to understand that there's even a local election going on.
Yeah, is there, can you read anything into the turnout? I mean, are we seeing turnout from early voting more north side, south side? I mean, where are we seeing the turnout from the early vote?
Yeah, the early voting is an interesting one. It's slightly less than 2021. I don't know that I put a lot of stock in the fact that it's about 6,000 off, right? Because remember, in 2021 we had a rematch on a mayoral on the mayoral race. We had Prop B going, and we were still in COVID, and there was no fiesta. So I don't know that I put a lot of stock in the fact that maybe it's down a little bit, but I will say at the beginning of early voting, we were seeing sort of more conservative white men voting, and then we started to see that trailing off a little bit. We're seeing Democrat women coming out a little bit more. We're definitely seeing an uptick in Black voters and Asian voters. We're seeing an uptick in folks who are new to voting in municipal elections. We're seeing an uptick in younger voters. And D1, District 1, has seen a moderate increase in voters, but the majority of folks are going to be at your Brook Hollow, which is in District 9. Unsurprising. That's a typical place where folks are turning out. District 9 generally always has the highest voter turnout for council districts.
Let's go back and talk about Prop A. We've seen those ads everywhere. We know that you have your feelings on that, but just if people are just joining us right now, we know that Prop A would decriminalize abortion and also misdemeanor marijuana possession. It would also permanently ban chokeholds and no-knock warrants. It would also make some existing policies permanent, like the cite and release program for certain misdemeanors. But we know this has been very controversial. And one of the things that people have said was you just jammed way too much in there, that some people say, OK, I might like decriminalizing marijuana, but then there's other stuff in there that I don't like.
Yes, people are saying that. I think it's certainly what's, I think, driving some of the rhetoric. I think, the dollar amount, I really do think that it's important to understand. We're looking at nearly $4 million in this municipal election, which is pretty much double what we've seen in 2021 when we had a lot more races, I think, that were up. Right. We had incumbents not returning. We had incumbents versus their staff members, like in District 2. We had that rematch of Brockhouse and Nirenberg happening. The amount of dollars that are being pumped into this particular election, 2 million of that is against Prop A. That's something to really pay attention to, is how much money is being pumped into this election as far as the media is concerned. And I think separately from that, on the other side, where you have the 4 Prop A proponents, that's a kind of a scrappy, small organization that is really looking at their ground game. And whether you appreciate Prop A or you don't appreciate Prop A, what the SA Justice Charter folks are doing is getting out voters who don't normally turn out. And that is worth celebrating if we're interested in voter turnout, right? Getting folks excited about coming out is an important component of the municipal election. It's why we've seen such a giant leap in turnout over the past decade, right? We started, I think, in 2011, we were sitting somewhere around 7% voter turnout. By 2021, we were at 17% voter turnout. Cities across the United States are desperate to see that kind of swing in who turns out to vote. So wherever you fall on this, a ground game to get folks excited about going to the polls and actually casting a vote is worth talking about.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. I don't really care who votes, just that you vote. If you have that right, take that right. Let your voice be heard. All right, quickly, because I know we're running out of time, and I had a lot of things I wanted to talk to you about, most of which we're going to talk about Saturday night, by the way, on our live stream on KSAT.com and YouTube and KSAT Plus. But there are 3 candidates that really, city council candidates that don't have opponents, but are raising a lot of money. One of them is Adriana Rocha Garcia, Melissa Cabella Haverda, and Manny Pelaez. What does that say to you?
It says to me that we've got some folks who are thinking about races beyond the one that they're in right now.
Mayor's race?
Right. I think we're looking at who might be coming up front for the mayoral race in 2 years. Yes.
Okay. And then conversely, I've noticed that the mayor has raised a lot of money, too, for basically being unopposed. So does that mean he's looking towards his next step?
Yeah. There's so much to talk about for the mayoral race, particularly, right? That's $600,000 in just 3 financial reports that the mayor has raised. He's spending a lot as well, but it is an interesting space for me to pay attention to for anyone, because why would a mayor who should be just kind of cakewalking into his 4th and final term, need that much money? I think he's saying he wants to have a strong showing. I also think there's something very interesting about the fact that this is truly going to be his last nonpartisan election. No matter what he does next, he's going to have to run on a ticket, right? And that he is raising $600,000, choosing to be against a proposition, sort of aligning with business interests and the San Antonio Police Officers Association really does sort of set up a question mark for us on what comes next for him.
Right. And maybe it also proves you can raise a lot of money during a cakewalk.
Right. It's great for a nonprofit who does the actual cakewalks.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the school fundraisers, you do cakewalks, you raise money.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We're going to talk more about this. Molly, part of our power panel on Saturday night. Can't wait to see you then. Of course, we go on live stream at 7 o'clock election night. Thank you, Molly.
Bring lots of coffee.
Absolutely.
All right.
We will have it. It'll be like a nerd ball. It'll be great.
Awesome. Molly, thank you so much.
We'll be right back.